So this is a ritual that is protective, but it's not protecting your energy. I'm going to tell you why we're not going to set out just to protect our energy in a couple of minutes. But first, who needs to do this? If you're working with clients all day, if you are around people all day, if you touch people to do the services that you provide, so if you're in the beauty industry, in the wellness, hair, whatever it is, if you're touching somebody to provide the service that you do for them, you have to be doing this. You have to be doing this every single day. Anybody who is sensitive to energy, or if you find that you are coming home and bringing a load of other people's energy with you, you need to be doing this. Especially if there is a practitioner, therapist, client dynamic, you're more likely to be picking up that client's energy. If you find that you're often taking heavy energy with you from the day, from your clients, things that you've picked up along through the process of your appointments, you need to be doing these rituals. So first, let's talk about energy strands. When we interact with people, anybody that we're interacting with, and that includes our clients on a daily basis, we have energetic strands with those people. We have those connections, those energetic connections. And that is what allows us to know things like if we know that they're going to cancel their appointment, or that's how we know what they're feeling before they even walk in the room. These energetic connections can be super, super draining for us, and we need to make sure that we're clearing them out of our field. When I do intuitive healing sessions with people, I can see strands that drain people. I can see the thick, heavy ones that have been draining people for years, and we work together to move those out of the client's energy field. They then work on the imprints underneath, but it's important that we are doing this for ourselves every single day, especially when we're working with clients. The next thing is absorbing emotions. So when we are working with clients, especially on a, make this sound a bit weird, like on a touching basis. So if you're doing something, if you're in the beauty industry, if you're in the wellness industry, if you're in the hair industry, something where you are physically touching your client's body, you're in somebody's energy field anyway if you're close to them. But when you are touching, it's taking that to the next level. And when we do this, energy, emotions, they transfer from person to person, whether that's from the client to us to the client. When we know that this is happening, we need to be able to activate our own field to stop it, to stop us picking up energy from clients, from people around us, from other people in our work environment. We need to know how to stop this happening, because if we don't, we're just leaving ourselves wide open for other people's energy to come and cling to us. And that is what leaves us feeling energetically heavy, really tired, really drained at the end of the day. And the last thing is unconscious permission. If we don't have really tight energetic boundaries, if we're not really maintaining our energetic hygiene, culturing, nurturing our own energy, we are giving people unconscious permission to access our energy. If we are not consciously setting boundaries, we are unconsciously saying, okay, yeah, take as much as you want. And we don't want that to happen. That is not to be happening to your energy field. Now, people will take as much as we are willing to give, not because they're mean or malicious. It's just completely unconscious. Most people are unconscious of what their energy is doing. And in being unconscious, it means that if you're giving and giving and giving, they will take and take and take. And that is also why you are leaving depleted. And it's not even just like hopping back to the energetic strands. It's not even just during your sessions, because those strands are in place. So, the following day, the following week, those strands, that energy is still accessible to the client. I'm not saying that they're doing it on purpose, but those strands are active, and that's happening whether they know it or not. Now, you are also going to need to look at proxemics, the imprints you're holding around energy, how you are nourishing and cultivating your energy, and loads of other elements to it. I will be making videos on these, so if you're not subscribed, subscribe. But they are all things that I cover in Activate. I will link that below. It's a 21-day program. I'll talk about it a little bit more in a few minutes, because I have been there, okay? I know what it's like to have weak energetic boundaries and what these do and how much havoc these wreak on your energy and in your life. When I had my cosmetic tattooing business, the feeling of the diary dread. If you've got a certain client booked in and you know that after seeing that one client, you're going to feel pretty terrible afterwards, feeling absolutely drained after a fully booked day. And also that kind of like energy roulette where you can do all the things that you did exactly the same as yesterday, it not be anything to do with your cycle, but because of who you've interacted with and the energetic interactions you've had during the day, you've no idea whether you're going to feel amazing at the end of the day, able to work on your business instead of just in your business, play with your kids, spend time with your partner, do all the fun things that you want to be doing with your life, or whether you're going to be crashed out on the sofa staring at Netflix for the next 2.5 hours. So when I really learned to incorporate my spiritual self and the energy work that I was doing for me into my work when I trained as a coach and energy healer in 2017, my days completely changed. I had so much energy for all the things that I wanted to do. The things that clients were bringing me, would come into their sessions with and talking about, was no longer affecting me in the same way. I wasn't coming back home and feeling drained from every interaction. My boundaries, both my energetic boundaries and my communicated boundaries, were so, they became so solid. My confidence increased massively. The things I was able to do compared to before, I was just a completely different person after implementing this. And I started attracting the most amazing clients into my business because my energy was on that frequency of attracting amazing clients who weren't going to drain my energy, who were going to have respect for these energetic boundaries I was implementing. And it was like an upward spiral. It was amazing. But it's something that a lot of people aren't doing. And it's creating this problem of them feeling drained all the time. So creating energetic boundaries and understanding how energy works, maintaining energetic hygiene throughout the day is so, so important because your work is powerful. It is so much more than the service that you provide. And yeah, there are people in your industry that see what they do as a commodity and people as numbers, and they're just like next. And it doesn't seem to affect them the same. But that's because there's a spiritual and energetic element to the work that you are doing, even though that's not the service that the clients come for. But they can feel it. It's that sort of je ne sais quoi that the client comes to you with, and they just can't quite put their finger on why they love having you as their whatever it is that you do for them so much. If you're their beauty therapist, if you're their wellness practitioner, your hairdresser, whatever, they love having you as that person for way more than the amazing service that you provide them. It's about your energy and about the energetic and the spiritual connection there. And you know it. You know that there's more to your work than what you are physically doing in that appointment, in that session. What this also means, though, is that energetic hygiene for you is so, so much more important. Maintaining those energetic boundaries, creating really strong energetic hygiene rituals throughout your day is so much more important because of this energetic element to your work. Because if you don't do this, it will create burnout, it will create stress. You will even start repelling those magical unicorn clients, the ones that you love, the ones that you really click with. Because if you are holding on to this energy with these clients that are not aligned, you're holding that, it's going to start to create imprints within your energy field, and you're just going to start attracting more clients like that instead of the clients that you're actually wanting to attract. Now, I'm about to show you a couple of really, really easy rituals that you can incorporate into your day that keeps your energy activated so that you have energetic capacity left at the end of the day to do all the things that you actually want to be doing, working on your business, not just in it, playing with your kids, having fun with your partner, doing all the incredible hobbies that you think, yeah, I would love to do that someday. You're going to create the energy in your life by doing this so that you can do that now. So why am I out here ruffling all the feathers saying that you don't need to protect your energy? And I'm actually going to go a little bit further than that and say, when you are protecting your energy with just a ring of light, creating a ring of light around you to protect your energy, which is what so many people say, you're actually making the problem worse. And it is why you are still feeling energetically drained. Because feeling like you have to constantly protect your energy weakens your energy field. You are giving your subconscious the message that your energy is weaker than any external energy, that you need to be protected from all this bombarding energy coming into you and attacking you, that your energy is so weak and puny and little, needs to be protected. It gives this external energy so much more power than your own, when we know that your energy is powerful AF. Your energy is magnificent. Your energy is huge, and you're here to do incredible things with it. When we look from a lens of having to protect our energy, it's also coming from that lack space, which is the absolute opposite of what we want when we're creating a life and business that's abundant. But we do need to do something. We can't just allow people in and out of our field all day. We can't just allow these energy strands just to keep draining our energy away. We can't just allow people to cross our energetic boundaries. So what are we going to do about it? So let's get into the Rebel rituals of what we are actually going to start doing, which is going to activate your energy and, as a byproduct, protect it. So the first one is the morning activation. Every single morning, you're going to get up and you're going to do this activation. It's going to take you about 2 minutes, probably even less when you get used to doing it. And this is something that you can use throughout the day anyway. I use it all the time. I use it a lot when I'm in the car and I arrive somewhere and I'm about to go in. I will do an energy activation then. It literally takes 1 minute, 2 minutes. You get centered in your own energy. Now, this is something that I am going to do another video on, because if I start talking about it now, I'm going to go off on a massive tangent. It's going to take way too long, because actually knowing and understanding our own energy is a process in itself. Being able to distinguish our energy from energy outside of us is a complete other process in itself. And it's something that we do need to do. We do need to practice doing it and practice sitting in our own energy. But like I said, that's a video for another day. Right now, just take what being centered means for you. Get centered in your own energy and just feel into that. Take a couple of heart activation breaths and center in your own energy, and then allow it to expand out and create a defined boundary at the edge of your energy field. Now, this is all something that I go into in a lot more detail in the Activate program, but make this boundary kind of like a couple of feet out from you and really create a defined boundary at the end of it and activate your energy into this field. And creating this boundary is so important, because it's not about demonizing other people's energy. It's not about demonizing external energy. It's just about saying, this is my space. This is where I am occupying energetically. This is my boundary, and I will meet your energy at the boundary of my energy, but you're not coming in. You know, you can meet that exactly where it's at. Nobody else has to change. Nobody has to change for you. You don't have to change for anybody else. But it's just that their energy, whatever they're bringing, is not coming past this boundary. It's not allowed into your field. And so being in that state is the morning activation. So you do that activation process and really sort of like ground into your own energy using this process. And the more you do it, the quicker you get at it. And you can do it in like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. It really, really is a very, very quick process once you know how to do it. And once you know how that feels energetically, you'll feel that click into place. And you're like, yeah, my energy's activated. Now, the next thing is pre-client grounding. So important, and something that I know that people go, oh yeah, you really need to do more grounding. No, you really need to do more grounding. And obviously going outside to ground is the ideal situation. When you are working, when you are busy, when you've got a fully booked day, going outside, depending on where your location is not necessarily going to be the easiest thing. So this is an energetic grounding ritual for you to do pre-client. So you're doing this before every single client, and it takes about 30 seconds. And it also ties in setting an intention for the session with the client as well. You can also use this process, and then at the end, after the grounding intention, just set the intention for your session with the client, which is something that is a really nice thing to be doing anyway. So again, we're going to start with some heart activation breaths. And then when you feel centered in your energy, you're going to run some red grounding cords from your root chakra, from your lowest chakra, your lowest energy center. You're going to run those grounding red cords right into the earth. You're going to go through the crust right down. And you're going to breathe as you push those roots right into the core of the earth. You're going to root them there, and you're going to give them a little energetic pull. You're going to pull them slightly to activate this ground, and you're going to breathe into the ground. You can, at this point, do the energy activation if you're feeling like you want to activate your energy again here. And then you can set your intention. So before each client, you can take a breath and just say something either out loud or to yourself, like, I am grounded, I hold space, and I maintain my own energetic field. I meet whatever the name of the client is, or anybody else's energy, or whoever it is. I meet that person's energy at the boundary of my field. I meet external energy at the edge of my field, but only my own energy may enter. And then you can go on to set an intention for the session or whatever it is based on whatever it is that you're doing. And then the next thing you could be doing throughout the day, and this is so important to do after each client, is the energetic reset post-client. So obviously you're washing your hands between clients as like a physical hygiene thing, because obviously you can incorporate this ritual into that ritual. So it's not actually taking you any extra time. It's just doing this hand washing with intention. If you're doing something where you don't have to physically wash your hands, if you're not actually touching the client, just set aside 30 seconds and do it energetically. But what you can do is sort of swipe down your arms, your body, whatever feels intuitive to you. Swipe down your arms, your body, and bring the energy that you've picked up to your hands, and set the intention that any energy that you're carrying that isn't yours, that isn't serving you, is removed from your energy field. And imagine that we're doing this into the sink. You've got the water running, and just with so much gratitude for the water and for the earth for taking this energy back, just run your hands with this energy under the water of the sink and allow the energy to be taken back into the earth for healing and to be made available for whoever's it is to collect if they want it. Now, that's really important. I'm going to go into why I don't agree or don't do. I mean, obviously, each to their own. Everyone do whatever you want. Personally, I do not do things like return to sender or send that energy back to somebody. I don't do that. And there's reasons for this. But what I do is return the energy either to the light or to the earth, ask that it's purified, cleansed, and made available for when that person's ready to call their energy back to them. But I will talk about that in depth at another time. So for now, we're just doing this ritual where it's like we're sending that energy back into the earth, allowing it to be purified, made available for them. And just taking a moment of peace, just a couple of breaths while you're washing your hands and resetting that activation. Then, if you've got another client, going into the pre-client grounding before your next client, and just moving forward in your day, knowing that you're not actually carrying that energy from client to client to client. You know, you're not carrying it home with you. You're not holding on to it. And then physically move your body, like have a little shake, have a little wriggle around, just do something just to physically move your energy, physically move your body. And the next thing is, at the end of the day, you're going to want to do your general energy rituals. So, like the energy cleansing practices that you do generally, whether that's smoke clearing, whether that's visualization, whatever it is. Now, I have a free book with 44 of these rituals in. If you want to download that, I will put it in the comments and the description box below so you can get hold of that. But it basically goes through and it gives you a step-by-step on how to do loads and loads and loads of really easy clearing rituals to do for the end of the day. We're not done yet. There's something else. Now, when things come up throughout the day, when there are activations, when you're feeling slightly activated, some people might call it triggered, that is an invitation for us to look at ourselves. So we might be picking up this energy from clients, but we can only see in other people what is a mirror for ourselves. So if somebody's showing you something, we can start to ask, how is this showing me something about my own self that I might want to look at? And, we can't look at this stuff throughout the day. We're busy, we've got clients to see, we've got things to do. But at the end of the day, we want to really sort of sit back and reflect and look at and go, okay, what came up today? What came up today with clients that triggered something in me? What triggered my stuff? What's that showing me? What imprints are you showing me? What patterns are you showing me? And if you're not going to do anything about it there and then, just make a note about it. So the next time that you're doing your self-coaching later on in the week or whatever it is, you have got that to go back to and go, actually, I noticed this coming up and that means this, and this is what I'm going to do about it. You can ask yourself, what's been coming up for me recently? What patterns are emerging in my clients? So it might be that you might have 3 or 4 clients a week that all come with this same issue. And you think, actually, you're showing me something. You're showing me something about myself. Ask yourself the questions. What are my clients bringing that are showing me something that I'm trying to hide from about myself? And, we can start getting a lot deeper into this, and it's something that I do with my one-to-one clients, but we can really start digging in there and seeing our own patterns and seeing our own imprints and then being able to change those. So bringing it back to the energy ritual practices, you will see that these practices are not about protecting your energy. It's like when we grow a rose. You grow a rose for the beautiful high vibrational frequency of the rose. And as a byproduct, you get thorns. Ain't nobody growing roses just to get a stabby bush. Well, I mean, some people might, but we grow roses for the beauty of the rose, and the thorns come as a byproduct. And that is how I always describe energy protection. When we activate our own energy, we create this high frequency. And as a byproduct, it's so protective of our energy. So these 3 Rebel rituals are really, really simple ways that you can incorporate energy work into your day. When you do it, you're going to see massive, massive shifts in your energy. Clearer boundaries, no more feeling drained at the end of the day, not having those energy strands depleting you without you even realizing it. Especially when you combine this work with looking at healing of energy leaks, looking at the imprints underneath as to why we have these things going on in the first place. All the things that I look at with you in Activate, which is, like I mentioned before, the 21-day program that I've got. It's literally 21 days where I take you through alchemizing the imprints that you have around energy and teaching you energy rituals that you can do to give you more energy throughout the day, throughout your life, and manifest the things that you want to be manifesting in your life. It's 21 days. It's addressing the 4 layers needed for actual transformation: the conscious, the subconscious, the energy, and the body. We address all those layers so that you can actually heal the energy drains that you've got going on. So you can actually look at the imprints, change and alchemize and transmute those imprints that are actually stopping you having more energy, that are stopping you manifesting, the things in your business that you want, the things in your life that you want. And with all my things, what I teach you is transferable. So you can transfer the skills that you learn in this program to any area of your life and actually learn how to coach yourself. And being able to coach ourselves means faster manifestations and deeper transformations, which is always amazing. So I want you to comment below, when's the worst time that you notice yourself being drained by clients? Is it, at a certain point in your cycle? Is it when you're particularly hungry? When is it that you're finding yourself most drained in the day? Comment below and let me know any takeaways that you've had from this video as well. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.